Hi, kindergartners. This is Miss Moses here for our Monday morning math lesson. Today we're going to do something different where we're going to be counting, and we're going to be counting by tens. So by the end of our lesson today, students will be able to identify how many by counting groups of 10. So you're going to identify how many by counting groups of 10. So today we're going to be using 10 frames. Remember, this is a 10 frame. Say 10 frame. Good. A full 10 frame has 10 counters in it. Watch me count to show that this has 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I know that there's 10 counters. So I can just look at that group and know that there's 10. I don't need to count by ones now. Let's practice counting by tens to make sure we remember how to do it from 10 until 100. Here we go. Do it with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Great job counting by tens. So I'm going to show you first how I'm going to look at 10 frames that are full. So each 10 frame is going to have 10 counters in it, and I can count by tens to figure out how many there are. Are there 20 counters altogether? Are there 50 counters altogether? Are there 100 counters altogether? When I count by tens, it's a lot faster than counting by ones. Watch me, then we'll do some together, then you can do some by yourself. Okay, so I see lots of 10 frames here. So each 10 frame has 10 counters in it. They're all full 10 frames. So instead of counting the counters by ones to figure out how many counters there are, I'm going to count by tens to figure out how many there are all together. How many counters are there? Watch me count by 10. I'll circle them as I count by 10. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So there are 80 counters. Now I need to find the number that shows the number 80 because I counted 80 counters. There were 8 full 10 frames. 8 groups of 10 equals 80 counters. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. There's the number 80. I will circle it. I circled the 80 because there's 80 counters. Watch me do another one. So I see full 10 frames. That means I can count by tens. I don't have to count by ones to figure out how many counters are there all together. So I'll count by tens. 10, 20, 30. I counted 30 counters. I counted by tens. Now I'll find the number 30. I'll point until I get to 30. 10, 20, 30. That's the number 30. I will circle the 30. I circled 30 because there are 30 counters. 3 full groups of 10. 3 tens is the same as 30 counters. Okay, now we're going to do some together. We're going to count by tens to identify how many counters there are all together. Okay, whoa, there's so many 10 frames there. And all of those 10 frames are full of 10 counters. So we can count by tens instead of counting by ones. I'll circle, you count with me by tens. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, count, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How many? Yeah, 100. So what number do we need to circle? 100. So there are 10 full 10 frames. That means there's 100 counters. 10 groups of 10 is the same as 100. Let's count by tens on the numbers until we get to 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, count, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's the one we circle. 100 because there are 100 counters, 10 groups of 10. Let's do this one together. Get ready to count with me. I see those full 10 frames. We'll count by tens. Ready? I'll circle, you count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Good job. So we need to circle what number? Good. 50. Count on the number line with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There's the 50. We'll circle the 50. Well, we're going to do another one together. And then there will be 2 for you to do by yourself. One more together. Okay, here's our full 10 frames so we can count by tens. If we counted by ones, that would take a long time. Much faster to count by tens because we see they're already in groups of 10. Let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. How many? 70. Count by tens until we get to 70. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Stop. That's 70. Circle the 70. Okay, now it's your turn. I will circle them. You count by tens by yourself, and then we can find it on the number line. Okay? This one's for you, so I'll circle it. You count by tens. Did you get it? How many? Count until you get to it. What's that number? 90. Good job. There were 90 counters all together, or 9 groups of 10. So if we counted each of these counters by ones, there would be 90 of them. 9 groups of 10 is the same as 90 counters. One more for you to do by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to circle them. You count by tens. How many? Okay, count on the number line. I'll point until you get there. What number is that? 60. Good job. Great job, kindergartners. So we said that today students will be able to identify how many by counting groups of 10. And we did that. We counted by tens because we had full 10 frames that were full of 10 counters, so we could count much faster by tens. Great job. I will post on Class Dojo some extra practice if you want to print it out or if you just want to look on the screen to do a couple more problems counting by tens. Okay, bye for now.